Hello, good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, July 26th, and we have a new head of household. And that's about all I know. I stayed up quite late again last night watching the live feeds and watching the head of household competition, which I spent a bit of time battling with people over whether Jackson was cheating. He wasn't cheating. How the different systems were rigged differently so that it was harder for people. That wasn't the case. It was just some people just didn't know how to do that thing. And that's not to say I sure as hell wouldn't. But even afterwards, they were talking about how they didn't understand, what they could or couldn't do or how they could or couldn't do it. And so there was just confusion. For some reason, Nicole thought she couldn't, change her angle or something. I don't know what she thought she could or couldn't do exactly, but, you had a 1 foot in that thing and your right side and your left side were both, in essence, connected via this, your foot went in a stirrup, your hand held up on a grip, and those two things were kind of tied together. If you pulled down on the rope, your leg would go up in the air. And then they were adjusting the pulley that rope was attached to. They would pull it apart and put it together, and that's what caused people's to get kind of laid out, kind of like spread way out. And obviously some people got the hang of it, and some people never did, and they fell. Some people really didn't and ended up planking. That's what I called it for what Sam did, and he fell. Jessica didn't even last during the commercial. Nicole went really quick. It was like, all right, well, this is going to be quick. Thought it was going to be quick. It was over 2 hours, which is a long endurance competition now in our world. That's considered a long endurance competition. And in the end, Holly won, beating Annalise, which was very strange that the two of them decided to stay up there for so long. Because my thinking is they're safe with each other. Holly's not putting up Annalise, and Annalise is not putting up Holly. Nor do I think they're putting up their respective boyfriends. Even though some people thought that Annalise doesn't might want to get rid of Jackson or something, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think that was going to happen. I don't think if Annalise said, I'm putting up Jackson, I don't think Jack would have said, yeah, go for it. I don't think that was going to happen this week. So, in my world, you're letting the other person win. And the best thing I came up with during last night's competition was you don't beat your alliance mate during an endurance competition unless it's the last endurance competition. That's when you put your cards on the table and go, all right, we're going head to head here, and I'm going to beat you. Because all you're doing is making a potential enemy who's going to be mad and frustrated, or and I'm saying some of this in hindsight, knowing what ends up happening. And it wasn't as much Annalise was mad at Holly as she was mad at Jackson, because Jackson was encouraging Holly but not really encouraging Annalise. And also when Holly and Annalise started talking about potential deals, Jackson was like, no, don't take any deals, Holly. You just stay up there, kind of a thing, which made Holly mad. Which made Annalise mad. Which, look, Annalise was being a bit of a whiny kid. I've wanted to be head of household. I've been saying that. Well, okay, great. Super for you. I mean, that's not a reason why Holly should have given it to you. Just win the damn thing if you want it. And so on the one hand, I totally don't feel any particular sympathy for Annalise. On the other hand, I think Holly should let her win, so that she Holly was able to play next week. That's what I'm thinking. Now, for a while, I hoped Kat was going to win. Kat didn't stay with it. Obviously, Jackson was the fourth person to go.
Holly went right after Jackson went. That's what brought it down to Holly and Annalise. Kat went. So when Jackson, as soon as Jackson dropped, Kat dropped, which made you think that she was just hanging on to beat Jackson just to make a statement. And then Holly and Annalise went for quite a while after that. And it seemed like Annalise just slipped. It didn't seem like she intentionally let go. She kind of just slipped. They both seemed extremely comfortable. And I realize this, and I'm again not the first person to point this out, but Holly's somebody mentioned a point about she rides horses. She said something about riding, if she can ride a horse for 16 hours or something, this is nothing, or some number she was throwing out there all day. Whatever she said is like, oh yeah, she's a horseback rider. And guess what? Her feet are in the equivalent of stirrups. It was the front half of their feet were in these stirrups, and that's exactly what you use on horseback. So she was really comfortable. And she seemed extremely comfortable. It seemed like Annalise was struggling more than Holly was towards the end there. And obviously, Annalise is the one that fell, so you would say, oh yeah, that's what happened. All right, so there's your analysis of the head of household competition. Yes, Jackson did pee while he was doing it. Everyone was amazed or surprised or, whatever. And they were talking about, thinking it was a first. It was not a first. Bodily functions have happened in many seasons of Big Brother and competitions, and I'm not going to bother to list them all. Frankly, I don't even remember them all. But the one that came to mind first was, I remember distinctly Dr. Will announcing that he'd peed himself when he and Monica were on the bed, and I don't remember if Nicole was on the bed too. It was like they were all. It was the keep your hand on the head of household key, and they're all laying on the bed, and Will announced he peed, and I think Monica jumped or something. I think and he may not have actually peed. He just said he did. And then I don't remember if anybody did anything in Big Brother 3, but in Big Brother 4, they were in one of their oops, no, don't want to do any competition. I touched something. All right, we'll just pretend that I didn't do that. Let me touch that. There, okay. The cage. It was a cage head of household where they were all in a cage. They had to move from a big cage to a smaller cage, and I don't remember if it was 3 different sizes, but the whole point is it was the person to get out of the cage. Basically, that's all it was. Just stay in the cage. It was the equivalent of the button game, the equivalent of the what's called the pressure cooker. And somebody, if not multiple people, ended up peeing because I can remember the camera being focused underneath the cage and the dripping, urine is what it was. So it's happened. It's happened. They said Victor in one of the competitions did, in the hanging competition or something. Some of those competitions where they're getting doused with water, you would never know. As it happened, Jackson, they weren't getting doused with water. They were getting hit with what looked like Pepto-Bismol. I think it was supposed to be maybe calamine lotion, some were saying, out in the woods kind of a thing. So the peeing wasn't anything brand new. It's happened before. Jackson did a really stellar job as far as, he basically he was basically in a contraction. His muscles tightened almost the whole time. That's why his legs never went up and down. He just basically fought the contraption the entire time and held his place, whereas everybody else was kind of letting the contraption dictate how they stood. When it moved, they moved to kind of accommodate it. Jackson didn't accommodate it. He would just stay in the same position, and he basically had to, was holding up weights the entire time. So he eventually quit, which is what had to go. We kind of guessed that was going to happen, as comfortable as the women were, but he lasted a darn long time. Showed what determination he has, which may come into play later when people remember that and think, Jackson, we need to get rid of him because he's awful darn tough. I don't know if he did himself any favors, except for if he was trying to stay in longer than Kat. In that case, he still didn't do it. So they got done. They went inside the house. And after that, I really didn't catch any sense of what's going to happen. I don't know who Holly's going to go after. I mean, people are thinking that it may be Nick and Sam. Maybe Jessica might be vulnerable. I'm not sure. Nicole. But I would say that two of those four are probably the two that she's going to go after. I don't think she's going to disrupt her own group. So, you've got Nicole, Sam, Bella, and Nick as your likely nominees. Why did the light not change for me? This is annoying. I'm at a light that waits on a sensor to activate, and it's not activating. Am I not on the sensor? I am on the line. All right. Coming to work a different route today. What else? So, I didn't see any moments of Holly talking game with anybody, per se. I only saw, them talking about the competition. Holly did make a comment to Jackson that Annalise was upset. Annalise was complaining about the fact that what I said about Jackson. And Jackson did go back. Annalise and Jack were sleeping, actually. Catnapping in the Target bedroom. And he walked in and woke them up, not intentionally. He opened the door and they didn't know they were sleeping in there, but he said, "Oh, well, I'm talking to you though. Sorry, Annalise, if I didn't say enough. I was just rooting for Holly and I didn't mean anything. Didn't mean to upset you by that." She said, "Oh, that's okay." She said, "Oh, it's over. Don't worry about it." And then, after Jackson left, Jack said, he apologized, or Annalise said, "Oh, well, that was nice of him to apologize." Okay. I don't think Annalise is necessarily still happy about it, but Jackson did make the effort to apologize, and so Annalise can't complain about it as much as she might, but I'm sure she still will to a certain extent. And I'm sure that it's still in the back of her mind gnawing at her. Other thing, the penalty thing that Julie announced. Julie announced there would be a penalty, that everyone was drawing these chips when they got off, and two people were going to get a penalty. It sounds like it was Tommy and Christy who got the poison ivy penalty, whatever it is. As far as I know, nothing happened last night. I guess it will probably take the place of the have-nots this week. And so Christy and Tommy will, in essence, that will be the thing. So there probably won't be have-nots this week, and it'll just be whatever Christy and Tommy have to do. Whether they're chained together the entire week or have to wear costumes, probably have to wear costumes, or have to perform some function, or, we don't know. They think that have-nots might be the first four people down. I'm thinking that there may not even be have-nots this week. They've had 3 episodes since have-nots were assigned, and they've devoted an entire 1 minute and 20 seconds to the thing. And they're not going to talk about last week's have-nots now, so seems like a lot of work to me for 1 minute and 20 seconds of TV. But hey, I'm not a producer, so what do I know? What else? So we don't know who have-nots are. We talked about Christy and Tommy getting the penalty. Holly, I don't even know who slept in the head of household room with Holly. At one point she was talking about Christy and Annalise sleeping up there with her, as opposed to Jackson. I don't know how that fell out. I didn't look at the feeds this morning to see, so I may have to check that, just for my own curiosity. I don't know who Holly wants to go after. I do know that someone pointed out that, Christy was complaining about Jackson to a couple of people, and I think word got back to Kat, maybe. So it has potential for Kat to tell Holly if she doesn't already know. I don't know if that would play anything with this week, and I don't think Holly's going to make a big move. I really don't. So anything else, Mike? Anything else? No, I really can't think of anything. Bella made her eviction. She was fine. I haven't watched her extended interview, which is posted now. I saw that it was posted. I haven't gone to watch it yet. I don't know if I'm not going to learn anything from it. Bella seemed to carry herself with pretty much poise in the interview with Julie that was on the show. I mean, she cried, but she wasn't snarky, or she didn't say anything that might turn people against her more than the people that already hate her. She's not going to. I don't think she's going to give the haters any more ammo. I could be wrong. Maybe she will. But I'm guessing she won't. But she may jump on Twitter and be a real super snarky person. But I'm going to guess she won't be. And especially the way this house has been in the house guests, I think when they get out, there's not going to be this terrible infighting that there's been in Big Brother 20. Some of that stuff. I don't think we're going to see that kind of level of drama. But I could be wrong. All right, I am now done talking. I have nothing else to add. Except for we have a show tomorrow night. Big Brother Gossip Show, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. And Stonewatch 2019. As of yesterday, Scott still hadn't passed his stone, if you can believe it. Oh, my gosh. So, I guess it's still Scott's turn to be sick this week. Unless something miraculous happens today. So everybody wish Scott well. Let him know that we're thinking of him. We're hoping he's doing okay. And I will talk to you guys, those of you listening to this, probably tomorrow on the Big Brother Gossip Show. Or maybe I'll do a special patron only. I did do a patron only CarCast. Tuesday, I think. I think Scott uploaded it Wednesday. So, those of you that are patrons got to hear that. It wasn't anything particularly amazing. Just another one of me, about 10 minutes or less of me talking to myself about the show and things that I've pretty much covered on here anyways. But it was kind of like a little bonus, and I will probably do another bonus, one of those things, maybe tomorrow for our patrons. Just trying to give a little bit of extra contact for the people that are supporting us through Patreon. We do appreciate you guys. And I'm talking about our Big Brother Gossip Show patron account, not my Big Brother CarCast or Big Brother my BB Gossip one. There's two. So that's what's up, everybody. You have a good day, and I will talk to you, like I said, tomorrow or Monday. Probably not Sunday. All right. See ya. Bye.